All right. So howdy again. Today I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't even plan to do a Psych Life video today, but I remembered that I had promised on one of my posts, I think, that I was going to try and do one this week. So I decided to try and give a little bit more of an effort. And I decided, since it's Friday, to do something cool today, a little bit out of the usual. And I'm not going to necessarily focus on CBT. I don't want to call it that. And the reason is because CBT has many different branches within it. You have reality therapy, you have solution focus, you have choice theory, you have Albert Ellis, and you also have Aaron Beck, and many more, and many theoretical orientations derive from that type of CBT practice and approach. But today I'm going to focus more on just the cognitive triangle in general. It's a very simple triangle, okay? As you notice, this is probably, I think, about the third or fourth theory that I use to show you guys a presentation on that involves a triangle. And why? And do you guys remember why psychologists tend to like triangles? And it's because in psychology there's nothing causational. X plus Y doesn't equal Z. No, there's only correlational. And what happens to one thing affects the others. And so, with that being said, in Aaron Beck's cognitive triangle, he shows, and he's notorious for this cognitive distortions, that term. But for his cognitive triangle, we have here thoughts, emotions, and behavior. So I'm going to give you a couple examples on how one influences the other. So if I have a negative image of myself, and let's give a specific example. I think I suck at math, which is something many kids feel as they're going through their developmental stages and they're doing that in school. I suck at math. So what's going to be that one thought, let's write it here. I suck at math. What's going to happen? We're going to have a negative feeling towards math. So we're going to write here we're going to have negative feelings. Feelings towards math. And then our behavior towards math is going to be kind of bad too. Think about it. If let's say I believe I suck at math, my emotions towards math are going to be negative, then my behaviors towards math are going to be what? My behavior is going to be lazy, unenthusiastic, sorry if you guys can't read that, unenthusiastic. But that's just from the perspective of thought. Let's try and change it up a bit. If I'm lazy and unenthusiastic, then if my behavior is lazy and unenthusiastic, meaning I'm not going to do my homework, I'm not going to do my classwork, I'm not going to pay attention to the teacher, then and I'm getting bad results, then my emotions towards math are going to be negative in general, followed by my thoughts towards math aren't going to be the greatest. What about times where emotions are already inside of you, negative emotions are already inside of you? And I'll give you an example. Oftentimes I have clients who have a predisposition to anger outbursts, not only because of the genetic component, but also because of their experiences growing up. What I mean by that is maybe a client was sexually abused in the past. If that's the case, they sometimes have a negative feeling towards sex. If oftentimes, and this goes for males and females, Sometimes if a person has been sexually abused in the past, they'll have negative emotions when it comes to sex. For guys, it's sexual dysfunction a lot of times because they haven't been able to explore their identity sexually. If we have a negative emotions towards sex, and I'm sorry I'm using sex, it's just the easiest one I came up with, then our behaviors towards sex, what are they going to be? That means a lack of an erection are probably going to happen for a male. And our thoughts are going to be, I suck at sex. So this cognitive triangle is supposed to represent how all three components affect an individual's life. And it does, and one affects the other. Your thoughts will affect your emotions and behaviors, and your behaviors, if we're going off behavior orientation and off the triangle itself, will in turn affect your thoughts and your emotions. And as I said, some of you may be thinking, how can I have emotions without thoughts? How can this part of the triangle be useful? How can this be the source sometimes? Like I said, we all have predispositions. We all have an unconscious mind, and sometimes we have a predisposition to a certain emotional predisposition to a certain event, which will trigger certain thoughts or beliefs or actions towards that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be going on a cruise tomorrow, so I will not be doing a video for a while. But I really enjoy these videos, even though they're kind of short. But I think they're straight to the point and they're informative for those of you who have never experienced this material. So see you later, and thanks guys.